Hi guys. I hope we are having a great start to our day. Okay. I'm gonna be very brief. I'm gonna try to be brief with this video. So the topic is people can be very fair weather. And what do I mean by that? People will switch up at the drop of a dime. They will switch up. They switch up like the weather. Okay? It could be anybody. All right? And I realize a lot of people, they only may support you, and it's not everybody. There are some people that'll just genuinely just support you, and those people are out there for you. However, on the flip side, certain people, they may not support you or like you or even gravitate towards you unless you look a certain way, or you just seem like someone that is of status, someone that has some influence, somebody that is cool. Unless people see you like that, okay, people may not like you, or like I said, you may be just kind of different, or you do things differently. The things you do, they might not seem cool. I'll just say that. And I'm gonna give you an example. So you guys have watched the movie Wicked, right? With remember Alphaba and the very popular princess, because Alphaba, she's like the problem child. Nobody likes her, right? And then you have what's her name? Glinda. I really hope I'm getting this right. Hold on. Okay, I was correct. Her name is Glinda. Okay, so basically the point I'm trying to make is, if someone who is very popular, and someone who is popular that everybody loves, if that person is propping up someone who may not seem cool, or if they're pushing someone, if they're like co-signing something that may not be cool if the person was just pushing themselves, but because this popular person, told people like, hey, I mess with their stuff. I think the weird stuff is cool. Whenever that happens, usually then people will jump on the bandwagon and will start supporting the person, because it just seemed uncool at first. Nobody cared. And that it's what I mean by people are very finicky and fair weather, and people will switch up. Okay, people are just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So back to the Wicked example. So in the movie, y'all remember that scene where Alphaba was doing that strange dance, and it looked kind of different, and everyone was like, ew, what is she doing? Everyone's like whispering, talking stuff like, oh my God. But then Glinda pops up on the scene, right? And she's looking very, she's like, oh, what is Alphaba doing? And she's a little intrigued by it. She's like, well, okay. And obviously Glinda feels bad, because the people in the audience, they're basically teasing her. Even her own, I think that was her sibling. I think she's like a foster kid or a step kid, But yeah, even her own sibling was teasing her, and obviously everybody in the crowd was teasing her. But when Glinda steps on the scene and she's like, oh, well, this is a strange dance, let me start doing it. And by the way, y'all watch the movie, Glinda is very popular, right? She's like the popular girl. She's the it girl known across the land, the castles, the crowd. So they see Glinda, she starts doing the dance, and what do y'all think the crowd does? Now the crowd is doing the dance, and now they think it's cool because they see Glinda doing it with Alphaba, which is like, the person, the undesirable that nobody respects, okay? And that's what I mean. This is basically the point I'm driving home. So I'll give you another example. This is a SpongeBob. Y'all, they put it in movies. They put this little subtle thing in movies, and I think some people, they're not paying attention, so it goes over their head. But it shows you how people act, y'all. It's just, yeah, it shows you how people act. So an episode of SpongeBob, okay? I remember it was when SpongeBob, he wasn't really getting no play with the ladies, or matter of fact, I don't think nobody really liked him because he has his SpongeBob does his because SpongeBob does his jellyfishing. He having on his jellyfishing glasses. He's out there. He got his fry cook job. He be cooking it up in the kitchen. All that. He has his hobbies, his collectibles and stuff. He has Gary the snail. Some people might not think he's cool, right? I remember this particular episode, and y'all know who Larry the Lobster is. Who know who Larry the Lobster is? The true SpongeBob fans, please come to the front. Larry the Lobster is this mucho dude. He's big, and this was like a beach episode because I think Larry the Lobster, he's a lifeguard, and he's like tough. He's like this, And I remember Larry was like saying, well, I mean, if you become a lifeguard, maybe he'll attract the crowd or the woman or whatever, and people would like him more. You know what I mean? So I think SpongeBob, he starts to put this, the white stuff, the suntan lotion on his nose, starts wearing the lifeguard pants, and then he starts, because SpongeBob does not know how to swim, y'all. So then Larry the Lobster is trying to teach SpongeBob how to swim, whatever the hell. But then I think, that's what happened. So if you had like the suntan lotion on your nose, because Larry the Lobster had it on his nose as well, people automatically thought you were a lifeguard, because that's what happened. Because SpongeBob, as soon as SpongeBob caught wind of this, he already had it on his nose, and he realized people started treating him differently because they thought he was a lifeguard. That's like a status symbol, you know what I mean? So, Larry's propping SpongeBob up, and they're walking around the lagoon. And I remember when he didn't have, if he didn't have his lifeguard stuff on, I think somebody like kicked sand in his face, and then Larry the Lobster would be like, hey, wait, hold up, he's a lifeguard. And then all of a sudden the girl was being nicer to him after Larry the Lobster said this. So it's like, basically, to drive home, this video is way too long, but just to drive it home, y'all, people respect. There are some people, they will only give you respect if you either, like I said, you have a certain status, or if somebody who is very popular, they look good, whatever, if they are co-signing you. It seems like that's only what certain people are willing to give you some type of respect, or support you or do anything, right? And that's what I realized. So, and then when you think about it like this, y'all, that's why I say people are very, very fair weather. Like I said, people switch up. It's like, say if you was like the ugly duckling when you was younger, then you get older, now you look different. Or you was big, you were overweight, you lost the weight, you look different. People switch up. Now all of a sudden people being nicer to you, people trying to talk to you, you know what I mean? People don't think you're uncool anymore. It's like it's the strangest thing, but that is also why people say you cannot put too much stock in what people think about you, and you cannot put too much stock in getting validation, because you'll end up being unhappy, kind of like internally, or you'll just keep chasing it. You'll keep chasing that validation, that attention, in a sense, because deep down you feel like, oh, well, this is the only way people are gonna like me. This is the only way. Wow, people really don't mess with me. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's why you just really can't put too much stock in that, and you really can't care. You have to be shameless, be you. You cannot care, man. Because people, like I said, they finicky. So then, like, same thing with money. You got money, you don't have it. They might leave. These people won't be around. Oh, real quick, think about it. The Great Gatsby. At the end of the movie, y'all, he had all that money. The people was at his parties. When he didn't have it, y'all, and when he died, nobody was at his funeral. So just be around. Just take heed to that. The right people will come around, but be you. That's all I'm gonna say. You can't care. But that's it. Bye. Peace.